File item 152, Senate Bill 19. For the purpose of amendment, clerk will read with amendments.
Senate Bill 19 with amendments by Assemblymember DeBobney.
Mr. DeBobney on the amendments.
Mr. Speaker, members, amendments to SB 19 are technical and clarifying. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on these amendments. Thank you.
Without objection, we may take a voice vote on these amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The amendments are adopted. Bill is out to print and back on file. Members, we're passing temporarily on file item 153. We're moving to file item 154, Senate Bill 406 for the purpose of amendment. Clerk will read with amendments.
Senate Bill 406 with amendments by Assemblymember Gomez.
Mr. Gomez on the amendments.
Mr. Speaker and members, the amendments significantly narrow SB 406 by striking the provision that lowers the employer size threshold. I ask for your aye vote to adopt the amendments and the bill be sent to print and back.
Without objection, we may take a voice vote on these amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Amendments are adopted. Bill is out to print and back on file. Members, we're at file item 156, Senate Bill 327. This is Senate Bill 327 for the purpose of amendments. Clerk will read with amendments.
Senate Bill 327 with amendments by Assemblymember Lowe.
Mr. Lowe on the amendments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise to present amendments to Senate Bill 327. These amendments delete the previous contents of the bill and replace them with a much-needed clarification to existing law that reaffirms the legislature's intent. I respectfully request that these amendments be adopted and that the bill go out to print and placed back on file.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe. Without objection, we may take a voice vote on these amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The amendments are adopted. The bill is out to print and back on file. Pursuant to Assembly Rule 77.2, I am re-referring Senate Bill 327 to the Assembly Labor Committee. All right, members, we're at file item 157, Senate Bill 300 for the purpose of amendments. Clerk will read with amendments.
Senate Bill 300 with amendments by Assemblymember Wilk.
Mr. Wilk on the amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. SB 300 by Senator Mendoza allows California-based pawnbrokers to conduct electronic transactions. The amendments remove a potential conflict with federal law. I respectfully request that the amendments be adopted, the bill be sent out to print and placed back on the file.
Thank you, Mr. Wilk. Without objection, we may take a voice vote on these amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The amendments are adopted. Bill is out to print and back on file. We're at file item 158, members. This is Senate Bill 374 for the purpose of amendments. Clerk will read with amendments.
Senate Bill 374 with amendments by Assemblymember Mainshine.
Mr. Mainshine on the amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to present amendments to SB 374. This bill will bring SANDAG, the San Diego Association of Governments, into alignment with other transit development agencies by clarifying its authority. Thank you, and I respectfully request an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Mainshine. Without objection, we may take a voice vote on these amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Amendments are adopted. Bill is out to print and back on file, and pursuant to Assembly Rule 77.2, I am re-referring Senate Bill 374 to the Local Government Committee. Members, we are going back to the top of the concurrence file. The top of the file, we're passing temporarily on file item number 2. We are going to take up file item number 3. That's AB 400. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 400 by Assemblymember Alejo, enacting to highway signs.
Mr. Alejo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise to present AB 400, the Remember to Vote Act, which will help with California's drought in democracy. This bill will make use of the state's existing changeable message signs to remind voters to participate in elections and register to vote. Throughout the process, I've worked closely with the state transportation officials to provide clarifying amendments to ensure that these messages will be displayed only at appropriate times. The Senate amendments make clear that these messages will not be displayed in times of an emergency and will not take precedence over amber alerts, blue alerts, traffic alerts, and other safety alerts. Furthermore, this bill will not put at risk any federal funds, as the bill requires the California Department of Transportation to receive a waiver from the federal government before such messages can be displayed. Let's make use of this cost-effective, efficient, and innovative use of our existing infrastructure to encourage our citizens to register and remind our voters to fulfill their civic duties on Election Day. We are proud that this bill has the support of Secretary of State Alex Padilla and several other organizations. I respectfully ask for your vote, as this bill has had bipartisan support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alejo. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 50, no 16. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 4, AB 804. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 804 by Assemblymember Roger Hernandez, enacting to shorthand reporters.
Mr. Hernandez.
Mr. Speaker and members, Assembly Bill 804 is back for concurrence. The bill requires the board to adopt regulations to establish continuing education requirements for renewal of shorthand reporter certification that are relevant to the practice of shorthand reporting. Furthermore, AB 804 requires the board to establish a procedure for approving providers of continuing education courses. The Senate amendments specify the range of continuing education hours and will ensure that the board and the Judicial Council work in collaboration to develop a list of continuing education classes to further the expertise of court reporters. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 69, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item number 5, that's AB 852. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 852 by Assemblymember Burke and others, enacted relating to public works.
Ms. Burke, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Assembly Bill 852 is back from the Senate with amendments that narrow the bill to apply to hospitals with beds over 76 beds. There is no opposition to this bill. I respect your aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 52, no 16. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 6, AB 1431. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1431 by Assemblymember Gomez and others, enacted relating to local public contracting.
Mr. Gomez.
Mr. Speaker and members, today I'm presenting Assembly Bill 1431 for concurrence, which is based on the model of job order contracting program that was piloted in Los Angeles. School districts have the choice to utilize the same authorization as LAUSD under this bill. I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 49, noes 23. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 7, AB 1509. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1509 by Assemblymember Roger Hernandez, enacted relating to employment.
Mr. Hernandez, you may open.
Mr. Speaker, members, AB 1509 is back on concurrence and Senate amendments. Senate amendments make a clarifying change in AB 1897 enacted last year. This amendment clarifies that the existing exemption for certain motor carriers also applies to household good carriers. This clarification was requested by the industry. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 48, noes 21. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 8, AB 96. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 96 by Assemblymember Atkins and others, enacted relating to animal parts and products.
Madam Speaker, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise to present Assembly Bill 96 on concurrence. It will close loopholes in current law that allow for the sale of illegally poached ivory in California. Technical amendments taken at the request of the administration add mastodon and warthog to the list of prohibited species and clarify that display of ivory alone is not presumptive evidence of intent to sell. I would ask for your aye vote in concurrence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 47, noes 21. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item number 9, AB 146. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 146 by Assemblymember Cristina Garcia and others, enacted relating to pupil instruction.
Ms. Garcia, you may open.
AB 146 is back for concurrence. Amendments taken in Senate appropriations are technical and clarifying. This bill has strong bipartisan support. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 56, no 6. Senate amendments are concurred in. Pass and retain file item 10. Moving to file item 11. AB 256. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 256 by Assemblymember Jones Sawyer, enacted relating to crimes.
Mr. Jones Sawyer.
Mr. Speaker and members, AB 256 ensures that it is clear that a peace officer or non-sworn public safety employee cannot knowingly alter, place, or move physical matter with the specific intent to wrongfully charge another person for a crime, and specifically clarifies that any physical matter includes digital images and video recordings. The Senate amendments clarify the measure. AB 256 has not received any no votes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Jones Sawyer. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, Tally the vote. Ayes 70, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 12, AB 267. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 267 by Assemblymember Jones Sawyer, an act relating to criminal procedure.
Mr. Jones Sawyer, you may again open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 267 requires the court to inform the defendant that accepting a plea and a subsequent felony conviction has various collateral consequences. The Senate amendments clarify the method in which a court can inform the defendant of the adverse consequences of accepting a plea deal and becoming a felon. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Jones Sawyer. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 59, noes 9. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 13, AB 404. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 404 by Assemblymember Chu and others, an act relating to community colleges.
Mr. David Chu, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 404, which would provide more accountability for the community college accrediting process, is back on concurrence. The Senate amendments simply add co-sponsors, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chu. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 69, noes 0. The Senate amendments are concurred in. Members, pursuant to Assembly Rule 77.2, I am re-referring file item 65, that's Senate Bill 705, to the Local Government Committee. We're at file item 14, AB 498. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 498 by Assemblymember Levine and others, an act relating to fish and wildlife.
Mr. Levine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 498, establishing wildlife corridors, is back on concurrence. There is no opposition. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 45, noes 23. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 15, AB 622. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 622 by Assemblymember Roger Hernandez and others, an act relating to employment.
Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 622 is back for concurrence, and the Senate amendments are technical and clarifying. The bill limits the misuse of E-Verify by prohibiting employers from using E-Verify in a manner not prescribed by federal law and creates financial and civil penalties for employers who break the law. In addition, the bill clarifies the tentative non-confirmation or TNC notification process for businesses and workers and creates grounds to prohibit employers from verifying existing workers. TNC rates are high for employment authorized immigrant workers, and as a result, they may face adverse actions by their employers. Each year, thousands of people may be wrongly kept from working, or even worse, be fired because of E-Verify and the problems consistent with. AB 622 will simply require employers to follow existing federal protocols when using E-Verify and creates financial penalties for employers who violate these protocols. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Ms. Grove, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand in deep respect to the author, but rise in opposition. The only reason is because in the real world, from an employer's perspective, if you use E-Verify and the person on the other end comes up and they are undocumented or illegal and you do not hire them, then you are under state penalties of up to $10,000 for not hiring them. If you hire them and you have proof that they are illegal or undocumented due to E-Verify and you employ them, you are subject to federal penalties of up to $10,000 if you hire them. So the problem that we have is that this law puts us in conflict as employers with state law and federal law, and it puts employers in a catch-22 situation. If you don't hire the employee because of the illegal or undocumented verification on E-Verify, state law penalizes you up to $10,000 per person. If you do hire them and the feds find out, they can penalize you for $10,000. So please be very considerate on this bill. Vote no. At least fix the provision so that there can be an exemption. The state will indemnify something, because employers can't be held in the middle for this. It's just not right. And I ask for a no vote.
Mr. Hernandez, you may close on the item.
I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
The clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 43, noes 24. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item number 16, Assembly Bill 652. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 652 by Assemblymember Cooley and others, enacting the state highways.
Mr. Cooley.
Colleagues, this is a bill that has moved forward with strong support in both houses. It relinquishes a portion of State Route 16 in Sacramento County from Watt Avenue to Grant Line, 8 miles from the Amador County border to the County of Sacramento. This relinquishment furthers the long-term planning process here in Sacramento County known as the Blueprint. It is a nationally recognized planning process for how we will accommodate growth over the next 50 years in the southeast portion of the county. This particular conveyance is very important because the transfer supports the development of this roadway as a complete street, supporting mobility of all persons up and down this corridor. The Senate amendments are technical in nature. They revise the property description of a portion of this road within the city limits of Rancho Cordova. I request an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Cooley. Mr. Bigelow, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I'd like to open my comment by saying thank you to Mr. Cooley for his efforts to work with my office and with my constituents in Amador County. Although we were able to work strongly together in accomplishing many of the changes that needed to occur inside this bill, alas, we were not able to finalize in agreement on the final touches of this bill and the details to which both Amador County and Sacramento County could come to agreement on. As I said, alas, I must stand and oppose this and ask the members that can oppose this, oppose it today. But I do want to end by saying thank you to Mr. Cooley, because he and his staff did a great job of trying to work through this difficult bill. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bigelow. Mr. Cooley, you may acknowledge those kind words.
It is important that we uphold our obligations to all our constituents. I request an aye vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cooley. With that, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 51, noes 20. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 17, AB 900. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 900 by Assemblymember Levine and others, enact related to juveniles.
Mr. Levine, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 900 is back on concurrent. Senate amendments require that a court terminate a guardianship if requested by a ward who is 18 or older, and clarify that wards 18 and older retain their rights as adults. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 47, noes 20. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 18, AB 1134. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1134 by Assemblymember Mark Stone, enact relating to firearms.
Mr. Stone, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 1134 is back for concurrence. Senate amendments made it worse, then Senate amendments made it better, so I ask for your concurrence.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 43, noes 25. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 19, AB 1156. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1156 by Assemblymember Brown, enact relating to crime.
Ms. Brown, you may open.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 1156 is back for concurrence. The amendments in the Senate narrowed the bill and made technical changes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Seeing no discussion on this item, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 44, noes 22. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 20, AB 1321. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1321 by Assemblymember Ting and others, enact relating to food and agriculture.
Mr. Ting.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 1321 allows Californians greater access to fresh fruits and vegetables via farmers markets. It merely sets up a framework to access $100 million pot of federal funds. Senate amendments were technical and clarifying. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Ting. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 54, noes 13. Senate amendments are concurred in. File item 21, AB 1343. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1343 by Assemblymember Thurmond, enact relating to criminal procedure.
Mr. Thurmond, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 1343 is back for concurrence. The Senate amendments clarify the role of defense counsel and the state during a criminal procedure involving a non-citizen, as it's stated in the U.S. Supreme Court decision Padilla versus Kentucky. There is no opposition, and the bill has enjoyed bipartisan support. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Thurmond. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 68, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. Mr. Holden, you are recognized for your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask for unanimous consent to suspend Assembly Rule 77 and allow the following bills that have a concur to be heard today.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. The clerk will read the item number, bill number, and author of the bills.
File item 22, Assembly Bill 44, Mullen. File item 23, Assembly Bill 161, Chow. File item 27, Assembly Bill 376, Lopez. File item 30, Assembly Bill 571, Brown. File item 33, Assembly Bill 706, Bonilla. File item 34, Assembly Bill 773, Baker. File item 35, Assembly Bill 808, Ridley Thomas. File item 37, Assembly Bill 931, Irwin. File item 40, Assembly Bill 1031, Thurmond. File item 42, Assembly Bill 1071, Atkins. File item 43, Assembly Bill 1259, Levine. File item 44, Assembly Bill 1342, Steinorth. And file item 45, Assembly Bill 1519, the Committee on Judiciary.
Members, these are concur items. We will begin with file item number 23, Assembly Bill 161. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 161 by Assemblymember Chow and others, enact relating to athletic trainers.
Mr. Chow, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 161 establishes a title protection for athletic trainers. The Senate amendments were technical and aligned the terms used throughout the bill. The bill has no opposition and has received no votes, and I respectfully ask for aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Chow. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 71, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in. Moving to file item 30. That's AB 571. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 571 by Assemblymember Brown, enact relating to taxation.
Ms. Brown, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 571 will align the penalty forgiveness standards for property owners who fail to file a change of ownership form. The Senate amendments apply to the bill's standard to change in ownership statements for transfers of real property. AB 571 has received bipartisan support and no votes. I ask for your aye vote for concurrence in the Senate amendments.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Seeing no discussion on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 71, no 0. Senate amendments are concurred in.